The Midnight Fairies. Megan was staying with Grandma for a few days while Mum was away. Megan always had fun at Grandma's. But on the second night of Megan's visit, as she was getting ready for bed, Megan realized that she'd lost the pretty flower necklace Mum had given her. Megan and Grandma looked everywhere, but they couldn't find it. Grandma gave Megan a hug.
"Don't worry, we'll look in the garden tomorrow,"
she promised.
"I am sure it will be there."
Megan settled down to sleep, but she tossed and turned and finally woke up again. She couldn't stop thinking about her lost necklace. Getting out of bed, she went to look out of the window. Somewhere in the distance, a clock chimed once, twice, 12 times. Midnight, Megan thought. Suddenly, her eyes opened wide. At the bottom of the moonlit garden, where the wild flowers grew, lights began to wink and twinkle, and shimmering shapes danced in the air. Fairies had come out to play. They danced and skipped through the air, laughing and flitting from flower to flower. All at once, Fairy Firefly spotted something. A silver necklace gleaming in the grass. "Look!" she said to her fairy friends. "I wonder who this belongs to." "Maybe it's that little girl's," said Nightingale, pointing up to the window where Megan was looking out. "She looks very sad, as if she's lost something special." "I wish we could make her smile again," said Moonblossom. The fairies looked at one another and knew they were all thinking the same thing. First, they tucked the necklace safely behind a stone. Then, together, they flew across the garden and straight up to Megan's window. As Megan gasped with amazement and delight, Stardust sprinkled her with glittering fairy dust. "Now you'll be able to fly with us," the fairy said happily. With the fairy holding each hand, Megan whooshed out of the window and flew down to the bottom of the garden. When they landed, Stardust introduced herself and her friends. "We are the Midnight Fairies," she explained. "Every night at midnight we come out to dance and play in the moonlight. Will you be our friend and play with us tonight?" "Of course I will," said Megan happily. With the moon beaming down and the friendly stars twinkling above, Megan and the fairies danced among the wild flowers. The cool grass tickled Megan's toes, and the fairies' laughter sounded like tiny crystal bells. Megan laughed with them and felt happier than she ever had before. When Megan was too tired to dance any more, Firefly said, "We have a surprise for you." She brought out Megan's necklace. "My necklace!" cried Megan. "You found it! Thank you!" As Firefly gave the necklace back, Stardust sprinkled magic fairy dust over it. A beautiful fairy appeared in place of the flower. "Oh," breathed Megan, "how wonderful! It's you! It's a midnight fairy!" "Yes," said Firefly, "but please don't tell anyone how it got there, or we might lose our fairy magic." "I promise," replied Megan. As she put on her necklace, Megan realized that she could barely keep her eyes open. With the midnight fairies fluttering over her, she curled up under the oak tree and fell asleep. Until the morning, when she woke up tucked up in her cozy bed in Grandma's house. How did I get back here? Megan wondered. Was it just a dream? She reached up to her neck, and there was her necklace, right where it should be. "Hello," said Grandma cheerfully, opening the bedroom door. "Grandma, look," said Megan. "I have my necklace back. Did you find it?" "No, dear," said Grandma with a puzzled look. She peered down at the necklace.
"Oh, how lovely!" she said. "I had noticed the fairy before."
The midnight fairies, Megan thought to herself. So it wasn't a dream after all.
"I wonder how your necklace got back here," said Grandma, scratching her head.
Megan, smiling as she looked out towards the garden, knew the answer. But it was a secret that belonged to her. To her and the midnight fairies, the wonderful magical friends she would never, ever forget. The end. Good night, children.